Ready for part 3 of my Super Strat build? Well, let's do it. Welcome back, I'm Tony, and I've been working on this Super Strat build for some time, and it's finished. Well, mostly. It's completely built. Everything that I'm going to put on it is on it, but I might need a little bit of help from you, and I'll tell you what that is in just a minute. Maybe you can help me down in the comments with that. But this thing is fully kitted out, man. I mean, we're talking True Temperament neck. We've got D'Addario locking tuners. We've got some roller string trees on here. Of course, the VegaTrem, which I love the VegaTrem. This is the 4th guitar that I put it on now, so clearly I really like the VegaTrem. And a Seymour Duncan Triple Rail loaded pickguard. So basically it's a, I think about 2002 made in Mexico Fender Strat, but the only thing left is the body. Everything else has been replaced, and I love it. So here's where I need a little bit of help, all right? So the nut that's on here, this is a Tusk XL nut that is, well, it's made for Fender Strats, and it's already pre-slotted. But sometimes you might have to file those slots just a little bit. This one, I didn't do any filing. As you can see right here, that's the pencil line that we made with the flat pencil from the frets, and I didn't do any filing on these nut slots because it looks like they're pretty much to that line. The other thing is, before I did a bunch of setup on here, there was a lot of dead spots and all that, so I was like, oh yeah, we're definitely in trouble here. Now, it's mostly good right now. I've got the action set now on the 12th fret at 1.75 for the low E, and it's right there at 1.25 for the high E. So, I mean, you know, it's pretty good for me. And I've adjusted lower and higher. I like low action, but that's really feeling very good for me. But I will say that this neck is impeccable. I mean, it's straight as an arrow, really solid. I used a fret rocker on all the frets, and they're all perfectly level, and they're super polished. All right, let me just sit down here for a second, but when I play it, you know, I hear it's not fret buzz. Of course, I'm really plucking those hard to, you know, make it extreme. It's actually gotten a lot better. It's settled over the last couple of days because I've been doing some setup on it. But I want to know from you, should I replace that nut? Just get a nut that needs to be set up completely, just get a block and do it from scratch? I'm sure that's probably better, but you know, this is the first time I've ever put one of those on. In fact, everything that's on here, except for putting on locking tuners and the VegaTrem, was new for me. So this was a real experience. And I need to give a big shout out to Jason Denton here on the Outer Banks, who did help me with a lot of the initial stuff, especially setting up this neck and getting it, you know, on the guitar. Now, I've gotten a lot of questions about this True Temperament neck, and here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how it sounds as it's set up today. I don't have a special tuner. In their literature, they talk about the fact that you can't use a standard guitar tuner for it, and it says there's some important things you need to have clear when you have a True Temperament guitar. For instance, tuning the open strings except for the A string to an ordinary chromatic tuner will not work the True Temperament guitar, as the open strings are not tuned in equal tempered intervals. So, like I said, there's some complicated stuff with that. I found a way through actually one of the videos on their website to tune it without getting a special tuner or anything like that. You just basically tune your A string, and then you're going to tune the rest of the strings to that A string by using the A note on each one of those strings. I know it sounds complicated. That's why we're not going to get into the weeds on that today. I just wanted to show you how this sounds, show you what all I've done, and it's turned into an immaculate guitar. But what I will do, people have had a lot of questions. And if you have questions about this True Temperament neck or how it works with other musicians, which by the way, it does say here, it works just fine with ordinary instruments. The offsets from equal temper are not so severe that they create any dissonance whatsoever. I haven't tried playing this with others, but maybe what I'll do is put 2 tracks together. What I'm saying is that we'll do a future video. Leave down in the comments what your questions are, and I'm trying to get Anders, the owner of True Temperament, to come on and do a Q&A with me. That will answer all that. But today, we just want to hear how it sounds and show it off. So let's go ahead and plug this into my Tone Master Pro rig, and we'll see how it sounds. All right, first of all, there were autographs on this thing that I wanted to remove, and through the recommendations of the community here, I tried naphtha, or lighter fluid. I tried rubbing alcohol. I used taking a Sharpie and going over it because the solvent will actually help dissolve it. And I tried a dry erase. This is a combination of all of them. And if you can tell, there's like a faint, it feels like, you know, there's a ghosting of it on the in the finish. And it's probably because the Sharpie was put in there by the band Default. Remember Wasting My Time? Back in 2003, and it's been sitting on there. So, yeah, might have gotten down into the varnish a little bit, but hey, they're mostly gone, and it looks pretty great now, so I'm liking that. So it was a combination of those things that got me where I'm at. But I think the thing that worked the most was that dry erase. You just go over it with the dry erase pencil and scour it out, you know, and then maybe take a little rubbing alcohol to get that off of there. I did test the lighter fluid behind that plate before I tried it though. I thought that was a good idea to do that. So I did film a little bit of me playing this before I did any of this stuff, so that's what this sounds like. And here's the same thing as it is now. You know, it didn't sound horrible before. I mean, it was a great guitar, but I wanted to do something different, and it definitely has a different sound. These pickups are screamers, I'll tell you that. Now, I'd also filmed this Alice in Chains song on that guitar. Let's do a little comparison, because you're going to hear the dissonance on the way that it was originally when you go into this right here. That right there, there's like all this dissonance in there. On this, it doesn't sound that way. So here it is on here. And here it is the way that it was. So to me, that makes a big difference, and that's all about these True Temperament frets. Yeah, I like that. One of the questions that I've been getting is, what about finger feel and bends? Well, down here at these higher frets, it's a little bit, it can be, just look at how my fingers fit in there. But let's just try one here. So yeah, bends, not a problem. Let's go ahead and put it on clean for a minute here. And turn off the delay, the chorus. Yeah, so I mean, that sounds great, but I'm more of a metal guy, and that's what I've pretty much made this guitar to do, is be a screamer, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that works too. You know, that's one thing about a Strat. I despise where that volume knob is. If I were doing this thing from scratch and doing my own pickguard and all that, I would move that down. I just have one volume and one tone. You know, I could even just go one volume and no tones. Yeah, I don't really care, especially if it's a guitar I'm using for metal, but yeah, that is what it is. And of course, if you watch this channel, you know that I love the VegaTrem. I'm a big fan. It's just so flowing. Try doing that with a standard Stratocaster 6-screw or even the 2-post tremolo. It's not floating, so it's not going to do that, but it works really good. If you've ever wanted to do that with your Stratocaster, you need to look at a VegaTrem. It's just, you know, there's no question. And it's still in tune. You gotta love that. I think that covers quite a bit, and we'll do more when I actually feature this neck, but I kind of wanted to give you an overall look at what I've done with this guitar. Well, there you go. I mean, I think it sounds really, really good. You know, there is a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to using this True Temperament neck. And again, this video is not just all about that. It's about this whole guitar. So maybe we'll do that dedicated video about the True Temperament neck, and maybe we'll do a Q&A with Anders, because it seems like there's just a lot of questions and there's stuff that I can't really answer, but these are absolutely beautiful. Altogether, I just feel like this thing came out so good, man. That's what I had for you today. If you've got any other questions about VegaTrem or whatever, I do have videos. I've got 3 other videos on the VegaTrem on installing them with the 2-point, the 4-point, and the Telecaster version of it. So do check that out. And I'm happy with it. I'm curious to know what you think about it down in the comments. Well, it's 4th of July weekend, and I know we're going to be doing some partying. I know I will be doing some partying. If you are, be safe. That's all I could say. Just be safe. Don't drink and drive. And I want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. Likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, always very important to my channel. So if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, there's a red subscribe button down there and notification bell. Click both of those. You'll get notifications when I upload new videos. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.